Sport is a religion. Voice of the People 96.1 FM is your worship center, and Franklin is your sporting priest. It is Game On. A terrific Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome to yet another exciting edition on radio where we got around to talk strictly Afcon on the show Afcon Update. Today is Tuesday, the 6th day in the month of February 2024, and time check is exactly 3 minutes into the show, 12:40 p.m. and it is a 3 minute gone past the hour of 12 noon, and it is that time where we give you the second sporting program for the day that is known as Afcon. And today I am not alone on the show. I've got my usual partner in the person of my Mr. Johnson Michael G. He goes by the name, or better still the nickname, Mr. J. Mr. J, always a pleasure having you join me to talk sport.
Thank you, fine boy. It's my pleasure being here once again.
Always a pleasure having you. And one man makes a debut on the show this afternoon. Perhaps you must have heard him on the morning show. You heard him a couple of days on the evening show, Sport Lounge. But today he said, no, let me join you on the show Afcon Update. But you love to call him the Sport Bishop.
Good afternoon, Abuja. Good afternoon, fine boy. Thank you for having me.
A fantastic time to talk sports. Alright, guys, let's delve into the show proper. As reports originals from the camp of the Super Eagles has it that there is a serious issue with our own star boy. He is the 2023 African Footballer of the Year, Victor Osimhen, as we hear that the Super Eagles may not have their talisman to take on South Africa in the all-important semi-final game against South Africa. The game is built for tomorrow, Wednesday, at exactly 6 p.m. But we hear that Osimhen has failed to travel with the team to Bouake, as he has reported to have an abdominal discomfort and has been assessed by the Super Eagles medics. Mr. J, let me begin from you. You love Victor Osimhen so much, no doubt, but unfortunately he might just not be in action come tomorrow.
I love him very much. We all love him very much, and no need hiding from the fact that it will be a very big blow, because with Osimhen in the team is already an established threat for the opponent. So having him there will be very good for us, but not having him there will be a major blow to us. But then that doesn't mean that without him we wouldn't be able to do it. We still believe in in what others can do, but having your star man, African Footballer of the Year, missing from the team will be a blow.
Let me talk to you, the Sport Bishop. Yes, Osimhen might not be there. It is not 100% established. The clause there is he might not be in action. Do you see this as a blessing and disguise for the Super Eagles? Because we all know that, just like Mr. J said, the presence of Victor Osimhen in the attack lineup for the Super Eagles and battling those defenders for South Africa, it is a huge task for them. But then imagine him not playing in that game and you now have a different striker. It will already destabilize the defensive tactics of Hugo Broos' team. Do you see this as a blessing, or it's going to be a huge blow for Nigeria?
A huge blow. I think it's going to be a huge blow. No blessing at all. If the Super Eagles had an 80% chance of winning that game, without Victor Osimhen, I think it will drop down to maybe 50 or 60%. The boy has shown, yes, he's not been scoring much goals in the competition, but the fact that he is always there, putting a shift in, he works so hard, and ensures that every other player makes every other player around him look better. So
true.
A big blow for the Super Eagles. But like I said, it's not yet confirmed. We'll be hearing from the coach of the team, talking about Jose Pesero, and of course Kelechi Iheanacho in the next 3-4 minutes at the press conference, and then we'll determine whether he'll be available or not. But like you said, he didn't fly with the team, but that's a big blow for the Super Eagles.
That is a big blow, just like the two gentlemen have agreed. But then I'm just seeing this as a mind game. Perhaps few minutes to the lineup being released, you might just see a Victor Osimhen there. This is where you want to see Jose Mourinho in this news. All right, away from Victor Osimhen now, but still delving in the camp of the Super Eagles. We have reports originating live from Abuja is that the player's cell phone has been seized. Though it has not been confirmed, but from the figures we are getting, it might be true. The coach is seeing this as a form of distraction to these players. But then, I was listening to Stanley Nwabali's interview with a friend of mine right there at Cote d'Ivoire. He gave the reason why he has been outstanding for the Super Eagles. And surprisingly, this man said that before every game, he watches his mentor, Manuel Neuer of Germany and Munich. That every time he watches this guy, there is this impression that Manuel Neuer imposes in him, and it spurs him to go into the pitch and do more. Now the coach has said, "Oh yeah, everybody submit your phone." But if these players have been watching their phone or making use of their phone and they are doing well, and now the phone is rumored to have been seized by the coach. Come on, is the coach stepping out of line? Let me talk to the sport bishop.
I totally disagree. I think he's done the right thing. You don't want our players get into a game not having.
But they have been using their phones before now.
But come on,
right now.
See, the thing is, you don't want our players to get into the game without having much sleep. With reports was that they were caught these players playing a certain game called Call of Duty, and the coach was livid. That had instead of time for you to sleep, I need to play games, and you get into games looking jaded and tired, knowing where you're playing every 3 days, in the competition. So for me, I think the coach has done it. If that would what they need to get them back on track, back on focus, the goal is to win the Afcon. And for me, he has done the needful. But to me, it may be a bit, out of line, like you would say. But see, anything right now would do if Nigeria can win the Afcon.
Mr. J.
That is it. For me, whatever it will take, I am a fan of Super Eagles. And here is my phone. If it should be seized, if this is the only criteria that will enable the Super Eagle bringing home the trophy, I wouldn't mind. I can sacrifice another week of not doing with not being online or not playing game or not receiving calls. It's something I know that it has a time.
Okay.
I will sacrifice my phone in order for us to bring home the trophy.
All right, it's all about the coach giving instruction and stamping his foot as the number one man as long as the Super Eagles is concerned, being the head coach. All right, away from that, now let's go to another news that is not cheering at all. If this report we are getting is anything to go by. All the way from South Africa, we are hearing that the High Commissioner of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right there in Pretoria, has released a statement that is looking like trouble in South Africa. Overall, the statement has it that the South Africans are trying to, not really trying now, they are actually saying that we show Nigeria pepper while cooking jollof rice, and it's more or less been a negative statement concerning Nigerians in South Africa, saying should the Super Eagles, should the South Africans, I beg your pardon, loses that game, Nigerians will be in trouble. Are we seeing another a resurgence of the xenophobic attack on Nigerians, or it is just a mere statement that might not just carry water at the end of the day, Mr. J?
Lovers of football can say anything. They can go to any length, as in what is in the. It could be a mind game. It could be anything. This is a very big weapon they've used against Nigeria, and we all decry that. So. Here now they see a serious footballing battle between us, and they want to threaten us with what we experience, and we all don't want it. But I don't think that will come to be, because football is sport, and I encourage them to have that spirit of sportsmanship. Just
as you are encouraging them, these South Africans are not looking like a set of people that wants to be encouraged, because according to the statement that was released by the High Commissioner, it says that the Nigerians should be mindful where they see this game, especially in public places. And when Nigeria is doing well, they should not shout, they should not jump, they should not be loud in their celebration. And riotous and provocative celebrations should be avoided by Nigerians. But come on, this is the game of football. When South Africans make this kind of threats, to me, based on what I have seen so far in the last few years of how the South Africans have behaved to Nigerians in their country, we shouldn't take this statement lightly at all. Don't you agree with me, the Sport Bishop?
I think it's a case of trying to curb the issue before it escalates. I think the High Commissioner of Nigeria and South Africa has come out to say the truth. As much as possible, as you want to enjoy and watch the game, please be safe, which is very important. Your life is more important than even the game, in particular. But for me, it's it's disappointing to come from South Africans to hear that they want to take the game beyond the pitch of play. It's a football game. Come on, win, lose or win, we are Africans, we're brothers, and we've seen teams lose this competition and they embrace each other. Yeah. That's because football brings unity, it brings oneness. So for me, I must join the words of the High Commissioner to advise every Nigerian in South Africa to be very easy, to be security conscious during watching the game. Yeah. But to me, I think CAF should make a statement. This is not what we're hearing from South Africa. Yeah, there are South Africans in Nigeria here. What happened? We're going to go ahead of and smash them because of Nigeria losing the game. It's just a football game. Let's enjoy the game of football. Let's enjoy the best of African football. African football has got to offer. And at the end of the day, let the best man win.
Let the best man win. I wish these will be the statements of the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, Mr. J. Sport Bishop, as we hear that 4 players have already been ruled out for their all-important clash against DR Congo. CAF on Monday confirmed the quintet of skipper Sergio Omela Diakite, Christiana Kwame and Odilona Kusono. They will not be available for the game. Reason is the players were ruled out due to the accumulation of cards in the previous matches. The most recent was Diakite, who removed his shirt after scoring the winning goal against Mali in the quarterfinals, and he was sent off for the second bookable offense. Not having your skipper in the person of Sergio Ray, not having a combative midfielder like a Christian Kome, and of course that man that got the goal, and I'm telling you, out of ecstasy, he removed his shirt, and you will not have those 4 important players for your game against DR Congo in a semi-finals, not group stage. But come on, should Ivorians be worried? Let me talk to you, Mr. J.
Well, as a Nigerian, I'm a bit happy because that's like perfect way for us to meet the DR Congo at the final. Because if we are meeting at the final without the 12th men, as in the fans, it will make the job much easier for us. I am happy, but for the Cote d'Ivoireans, I don't think it is a good news for them going into all-important clash semi-final of Afcon. They are hosting without without 4 of their key men.
I think those players have been major pieces in the jigsaw. Like you said, the Akite been scoring goals. I think since Fight took charge, these 4 players have been a household name in their starting lineup.
Starters.
Exactly. So you losing your captain in a game of this magnitude is huge. Losing a goal scorer like the Akite is huge. And then to add Kwame, who's very combative. Like I said, I watch him play. The only way Cote d'Ivoire can win games is by coming at you and fighting. I said it on this platform, like they fight and they fight and they fight. Doesn't matter how well the other team plays. They could fight their way to the title. Don't feel they got the 12th man. So huge blow for them. I think their chance of getting through the final has just hit a brick stone. Hopefully they overcome that brick stone.
I pity the likes of Fofana because we have so much to do in that midfield. Should the DR Congos be licking their lips and say, "Oh wow, the soup is set"? There's 4 players absent. We are good to go.
I think the Cote d'Ivoire have got some good replacements in midfield. I think it's an attack and in defense they're going to suffer. I think Singo will come in to replace him, Sergio Rea. Diakite would leave, but they've got Sebastian Ole. They've got in Adingra. Those 2 players who have been fantastic for them. In the midfield they've got some good players like Fofana. They've got in Ibrahim Sangare. They've got in this young man away, Frank Kesse. So I don't think they've got issues with the midfield. But I think defensively and attacking wise, I think DR Congo should be licking their lips and saying, I think there's something in there for us in this one.
Something in there. Now, guys, let me put you on the spotlight because something that is looking like it might just happen is about to happen. And what's that? The Federation of Algerian Football, FAF, has concluded plans to hijack Osepesero under the nose of the Nigerian Football Federation. The Desert Forces of Algeria have currently without a manager after Jamel Belmadi was relieved of his duty. After winning the 2019 African Cup of Nations, Belmadi has failed to lead Algeria out of the group in the last 2 editions of the competition, and Osepesero is the man that they have concluded plans to steer from the Super Eagles of Nigeria and from the NFF. Come on, this is a case of Osimhen Sitout, which we do not like, no doubt. Major fans of Nigerian football do not like him, but come on, another nation is courting this man and they are ready to steal him away.
First of all, don't forget there was a report that he has signed up with a deal with Egypt, an Egyptian club, with that Casablanca at that point in time.
That's Moroccan
club, I beg your pardon. There's also reports that he was going to leave. Don't forget, there was a report that he refused to sign a new contract, depending on how he performed at the African Cup of Nations proper. And now he's in the semi-final. We hear that there's a shortlist, 5-man shortlist that have the likes of Radon Viladovic, the likes of Hugo Bruce of South Africa, Carlos Queiroz, and of course
Vladimir
Petkovic as well. So making up the 5-man list. But for me, I think it's good news for the NFF. It's just a way to let the man leave, without going to fisticuffs and into a hassle. Even if he wins the Afcon, I think we'll let him go. He's shown that, we win the Afcon, I think we still need a lot of repairs, especially in our midfield and in our attack, playing some brand of football. For me, that's my own opinion. But the NFF will tell you that he's winning games and they want to keep him.
They want to keep him, Mr. J. And then the yam and the knife will be in the hand of
Pesero. Absolutely.
To dictate what he wants.
He could even ask for a double amount in his contract.
Yeah, you've said it. He will be holding the handle of the sword if we're able to leave the AFCON. But then he shouldn't drag Nigeria to the mud by winning the AFCON. General opinion before the AFCON is that he's not a very good coach for Nigeria. Yeah. But he came into this competition with a tactics that is winning the games for us, and that is all that is needed in a competition. He's been able to identify Nwabali for us. He has done a very, very good thing for us there, and I think any good coach can come and take these boys from there.
All right.
I wouldn't allow him to drag us to the mud because we have a general opinion before now.
Finally, guys, in the next 40 minutes, let's move away from the camp of the Super. 40 seconds, I beg your pardon. Did I say minutes? Oh wow! How much I love this show. Of course, guys, you know why? When it comes to sport, this is what we do. In the camp of Mali, we hear that the Malians are set to be fined by CAF following their unruly behavior of their players as well as their coaches. We hear that heavy fines have been imposed on them following the harassment of a center referee after their elimination from the competition on Saturday. The Malians suffer a 2-1 defeat to a 9-man Ivory Coast, and the players believe it was the referee that was